Hello, and welcome to something a little bit different. Today we are looking at new DLC 2 unit and map that has just been added today to Wargame Airland Battle. This new free DLC update. We are getting 12 new units, one for each faction. So yeah, let's go take a look at it. So for the United States, the first unit we get, if we scroll down a little bit, on the SMAW squad. Quite an interesting squad. It is a tank hunter squad, 5 guys in it, and no machine gun, but it does get the small launcher. That's right, it's called a small squad, which, as you can see, is pretty bloody good. I mean, 20 AP power, 13 accuracy. This will be like Pack's nightmare if they ever get close. And it seems like a very good but very niche anti-tank unit because it doesn't have like amazing range. It's good for an RPG, but not as good for, long-range ATGM fire. Another cool thing about it, this can actually be brought up in the marine LAVs and amphibious vehicles as well as Trinitarians. And it is actually a marine type unit, so another unit for the Marines, which is quite good. If we let's take a look over to the British side, we've got the Challenger Run Mark II, which is basically a Challenger Run, but as you can see, the Challenger Run Mark II has a slightly better gun. And yeah, that's it. That's the difference. It also has camouflage, which makes it look quite slick and sexy. Quite slick and sexy indeed. Anyway, if we take a look at the French, we have a brand new Mirage F-Run CT, which is a cluster bomber, 140 points, good ECM. It's actually a fighter bomber as well, does carry some short-ranged air-to-air missiles and 6 cluster bombs. It's quite a good plane actually. It's very expensive for its role, but it really fills in the gap where France didn't have a cluster bomber before, but now they do with this plane, and it's pretty good, and it does look quite nice. I do like the camouflage scheme. Seems like a pretty cool unit. The Germans, they get the F4F, which is basically a Phantom. It's replacing the Starfighter's old short-range air superiority role, as it does have 4 infrared missiles. Not good ECM, it's pretty fast at 900 compared to the Starfighter, which only went 750. So yeah, it's probably a pretty good cheap early on plane to shoot down enemy bombers and messing up helicopters in the early game. For the Canadians, you get the CF-18 Hornet, which is the only air superiority Hornet in-game. And yeah, it looks good once again. Quite a big plane theme in this new DLC. Has standard autocannon, aim missiles, 4 of them to be exact, as well as 2 medium to long range air-to-air missiles. And this really gives Canada the longer range air-to-air dogfight and parry needed, and it's another option for them. Instead of just using ADATs to shoot down enemy planes, you can use the CF-18 Hornet. For the Danes, we get a brand new Centurion, the Centurion Mark V/2 DK, which is pretty decent actually. Has quite a good gun of 2,100 meters. Pretty good accuracy on it as well. 9 accuracy. It's like more than just a Leopard 2. Decent AP power. Okay armor. Bad speed. It's basically a Centurion with a pimped out gun. And a Centurion with a pimped out gun is a pretty good Centurion. On the Swedish side, we have, if I can find them real fast, the RBS 90s, because if you thought these guys were insane, take a look at these guys. It's more HE power, better accuracy, and even better range, 2,625 meters for a man-pad launched air-to-air, ground-to-air system. This is the longest range man-pad in game now, and it was just absolutely crazy good. For 5 more points, that extra range will really help a lot, as well as that HE power, because if you're playing against Pact, you're going to be having the Hinds, and Hinds take quite a lot of damage, so this will be quite a good unit indeed, with the same transports as before, not really anything to note yet. And for the Norwegians, they finally get themselves a reserve unit called LH3s, and I do like to note these guys have some pretty funky glasses, very funky glasses indeed. And yeah, it's this reserve infantry, 15-man squad, bolt action rifle, and a law launcher. But they also do come in his transport as mediocre to say the least. East Germans, they get a new SPAGG, the FALA SFL 23-4M, and yeah, it's basically like the previous run, slightly more range, better accuracy, and it's like, is that black? It's like a greyish, greenish, blackish colour. So it's a pretty nice paint scheme, yeah. So yeah, more AA for East Germany, because they don't really have great AA, so hopefully fill in that gap, because it does look pretty decent. Especially with the accuracy and range against helicopters now, this could really do quite a bit of damage to enemy Cobras. On the Soviet side, they get a Recon Hind. A Hind yet is a recon unit, because it wasn't just an attack helicopter to transport helicopter, they can also use it for recon. Now, it doesn't have any ATGMs, but it does have the Yak-B autocannon, which is pretty good. It's a great gun, I absolutely love it. As well as S8 rockets with 80 of them. As well as it's Hind, it has armor, so this is probably going to be the most survivable and probably one of the most deadliest recons apart from the Kira, with the Hellfire missiles. That can be quite dangerous. But yeah, exceptional optics. It's quite a niche unit. It's very expensive though, 110 points. I don't know if it's going to be really seen much, because most people just like to get the MI2 because it's nice, it's cheap, and it still has very good optics. So yeah, a very interesting unit. But as again, I really like the camouflage. The Poles get the Su-24MP, which is a 1984 seed plane, anti-radar plane. Pretty decent, good ECM, 4 anti-radar missiles, which is quite a bit. And yeah, now basically every single packed faction, except for Czechoslovakia, have some sort of seed, and that's quite good, because NATO, a lot of their AA is Hawks and Mortar 2 Rolands, and they're like your big threats. So seeing some more seed to really counter them is quite cool. And as usual, really nice paint scheme. I don't know why that part is yellow. And anyway, last but not least, the best unit, the Czechs get Strela Freeze. This Strela Freeze, it's pretty much identical to, you know, Strela 2's. It's a little bit of changes here, a bit more HE power, a bit more accuracy, and a pretty nice unit logo. Yeah, they can come in BMPs and all of that good stuff. And I'm going to show you the maps in just a little bit. First map we have here is Oslo, which is a 1v1, 2v2 map, and it really has a lot of elements from an old European escalation, as there is a crap ton of dead space around the borders. As you can see, the home points are Gulf and Delta. None of these points are reinforcement points whatsoever, so it's going to be your only way to bring in new units. Echo and Alpha being Delta's home points, Charlie and Foxtrot being Gulf's home point, and Bravo being a contested point between both sides. As you can see, there's an awful lot of town and scenery, a lot of buildings, a crap ton of buildings actually, to garrison infantry around through here, and all around through here. So I can really see this being an infantry spam fest out of all things. Next map that we have is I can't pronounce it for the life of me, I do apologise. But this is a 1v1, 2v2 and 3v3 map. Very interestingly designed, as one of the home points is Juliet, other one is Bravo. And you see they kind of start pretty close to each other, to be honest. But this is where mainly most of the fighting goes on. You can kind of sneak into east side through hotel, which is quite a fast access route, probably quite heavily attacked because lots of forest and a few buildings to hide in. The home points for Bravo are Charlie, Alpha, Delta, and Echo. For Juliet, it's a symmetrical again with India, Lima, Kilo, Golf. Foxtrot and Hotel probably going to be the two contested points on the map. And yeah, it's just very oddly designed. Again, lots of dead space around the flanks of the map. A few towns and factories being planted around here and there, and quite a bit of hills and forests to really hide in. Very interestingly designed map, I have to say. I can see a lot of recon infantry and sneaky business happening along this hill, while over here it'd be packed heaven with a lot of these open terrains. Next map we have is Aris, which is a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 map once again. India, Juliet being the home point, as well as Alpha and Bravo. Again, lots of dead space indeed. We have Golf Hotel, and being these guys' home points, Charlie and Delta being Alpha and Bravo's home points, where it seems like Foxtrot and Echo will be contested. Echo, kind of in an interesting area, lots of places to garrison around in, and again, like every single sector, or a lot of them around here and here, are mainly just big giant cities that have at it with crazy infantry attack. I mean, there's a lot of zones in here to hide in. Well, the Foxtrot and Hotel seem a little bit more forgiving for tank play, as they do have all these forests to hide around in. It's a very small and compact map, especially for 3v3. It'd be quite crazy if one guy going down here, another guy going down here, and a third guy going down here. And just you have all this room around here for more sneaky peeky business with planes, Nighthawks, and recon helicopters and infantry to try and get round the flanks. The next map we have is Constad, which is quite similar to an old EE map called Summer Night, I believe. Yeah, it's the one I used to play quite a lot. And it's very simplistic in its design. As you can see, this is a 1v1, 2v2 map. For Foxtrot, their home bases are Charlie, Delta, and Hotel, while Bravo, symmetrical again with Golf, Echo, and Alpha. Main centerpiece of this map, a lot of bridges around here. This map is kind of split up into 4 different land masses on each corner. Lots of open terrain, quite a bit of not really hilly either. And not many towns. There's a town here and a town here, but that's about it. So this doesn't seem all that great for infantry play unless you want to really hide around in the forest. And this is a very just open range map. I kind of like it, and not too much dead space around the flanks. The whole map has been used quite nicely. Next up we have is the remake from an old EE map, this time being called 3 Mile Island. It is a 3v3 and 4v4 map, and it is quite large. Very large map. Really 2 land masses around the flank, and the main centerpiece, indicating to its name, there are 3 islands in the middle. The spawn points are Echo and Alpha. Well, over here it's Kilo and November. There are reinforcement points and Hotel and Golf. Same on the other side of Juliet and Bravo. Basically, this map can be evenly cut off in half. If I just move my cursor through here, one half being here, one half being the other. Not really any contested points whatsoever. Here I can see this centerpiece with the little nuclear power plant reactor thingy, Mahoozy Medoozes, being of quite a big infantry battles. Holding this island, if you put infantry ATGMs around the flanks, you can probably shoot into the land and control the bridges, which are really the only way to get onto the island at all. The flanks seem very prone to long-range ATGMs, so it's not too many forests to hide in, and there's a lot of good angles, especially from these hills. in the sides closer to the island, so you can really shoot at any incoming buggers that do try and get you. So I couldn't actually join a 10v10, so I can't get you the 10v10 maps in-game, but I can show you a picture of it and really try to orientate it. So, first off, this map is called, bloody hell, what is it called again? It's called Gajol. It has a very awkward name indeed. And as you can see, it is an awful lot of capture points. So much through the NATO alphabet. I think it actually gets, yeah, they get to Z or Z in the NATO alphabet. So that is quite a lot of letters have to be used. Very swampy terrain. There's lots of little lakes all scattered around the map. The middle being one giant hairy knob, where it just be basically napalm infantry heaven. Around the flanks, yeah, there's a bit of forest to do some sneaky recon business. But it seems like in the middle right and the middle left, like by Alpha Juliet and in Delta, that's quite open long. And the last map we have in this DLC is another 10v10 map called Asgard. Asgard, yeah, Asgard, for a cool name, very Vikingist it sounds like. But anyway, another map with a lot of catch points, not as much as the one before. You do have to go to like X-ray in the NATO alphabet, which is quite a bit. And as you can see, it's very mountainy indeed. The bottom right, top left being a great raised sneak recon infantry round, while the middle part of the map is kind of been encompassed around those mountains, which completely surround that more industrial area of the map. Seems the middle is a bit more better for infantry play, while around the flanks it's a little bit more medium to longer range. So you can do some pretty good sneaky peeky business behind ATGM guys all around us. Yeah, it is a lot, and I mean a lot of forest. And Rel, that has really been the DLC Magna Carta. Hope you guys learned something new and actually understood what the new DLC is about. So I will catch you later. Take it easy.